right, everyone. It has been 18 weeks.
18 weeks of our lives we will never get back.
4 months.
4 score even.
Four score. We have entered the largest war in not human history, but the universe's history.
I don't know. Isn't the Halo War pretty big?
In the universe's history.
Okay, sure.
Brendon, we have seen, as you have claimed for 18 weeks straight, the greatest cinematic event in human history.
Yeah. Greater than the invention of the toaster strudel. More important than the invention of pretzels.
Okay, I mean...
More groundbreaking than the pet rock.
Whoa, wait, no. I've let a lot slip. But the pet rock is crucial, a keystone in human history.
Did you just use a stone joke for a pet rock?
Not intentionally, but I...
Oh, I'm Brendon, by the way.
Oh, and I'm Connor. And this week we are discussing Avengers Infinity War.
Avengers Infinity War.
Or as my neighbor says, Xfinity War.
Your neighbor's dumb.
Yeah.
This could be a little different than our usual episode. We didn't take notes. We did this with Black Panther 2. Instead of just trying to go scene by scene what happens, I'm assuming with how much money this movie has made...
Everyone's seen it pretty recently.
You've seen it. We've given you 2 weeks now by this point.
Yeah.
It's made over $1 billion worldwide.
Woo!
It's going to be spoilers, and we're probably going to talk more about...
We're probably going to discuss it more than summarize it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a summary. It's going to be more a discussion of the key points there. And then we're going to put it into the scientist one more time for the system. And we're going to see, does it have the hype?
Was the hype real?
Is it the hype?
Brendon, if it's not the hype, we might not start feeling so good. And Thanos demands silence, and we're breaking that, man.
All right, let's just start. Let's start with the baddie first.
The baddie?
Let's talk about Thanos.
Thanos? I don't know if I'll say best Marvel villain, but a really, really good one.
A year ago, I would have said best Marvel villain.
A year ago before Civil War?
I think before
or
Black Panther.
Black Panther, okay.
But he is one of the most developed... not understand what I should say. But he is the most developed, I think, Marvel villain.
Which is weird, right? Because before this, we got no backstory. We barely even got a character.
And I kind of called this when we did our preview that this was going to be a Thanos-driven movie the superheroes on the side, and that's exactly what we got. Thanos is the main focus of this movie.
Which, it's funny, because watching it, I didn't feel that, but looking back, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you're following Thanos, and they're cutting to the superheroes.
You're, following Thanos through the superheroes.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's really well done the way they did it. His backstory, I like the change from the comics. I know in the comics, he's trying to court the concept of death, which is a real person in the comics. Death. Which they could have gone, I thought they were going to.
I feel like they could have. I don't know how much it would have affected it.
I think you're also putting a big role on Kate Blanchett from Ragnarok.
Well, that's if that was what that would be.
Well, that's why I thought they were going to do it first. As soon as they announced her in Ragnarok, I was like, oh, this is going to be where they go.
What's interesting is with his backstory is they changed that part. So they changed the wanting to eliminate half the sentient universe, from courting Lady Death to it's a matter of survival. But they didn't change his origins.
No, he still has the same origins.
Which I thought was interesting because that confirms that we get what is it? The Skrull? The goblin-y alien dudes?
I think they were going to confirm that with
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, so we got that confirmation. I mean, this is a historical problem that you see in human history. We've had, I very famously thought of Thomas Malthus as the first guy that came up with this, that eventually you're going to reach a point where the population will kill a majority of itself out because it can't sustain itself.
Yep. So
that's all Thanos' plan. And he's being a rational man with a gauntlet.
I was the whole time, I was I get where he's coming from. I see the thought behind it.
There's thought process behind it. He's lived through this real world experience. He saw what happened, and this is how he thinks the way to solve it is. And again, this is your thing you love in a villain.
It is. I love this villain. He wasn't. What's interesting is he was the bad guy, but the whole time he wasn't trying to convince the heroes that he was right. But at the same time, he was like, "This is what it is," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't saying like, "No, come to my side. Here's why." He was like, "This is how it is," you know.
Yeah, he was not trying to convince them.
And he wasn't like cruel. I never thought he was cruel.
Yeah, because you notice even in that last scene when he's going for the Mind Stone,
Mm-hmm.
he never goes all out.
He could have like backhanded Scarlet Witch.
Captain America probably should be dead.
Probably. No, he was just like in that scene he went up to Scarlet Witch. He's like, I understand loss, you know, and then he did his thing. But
he even says to Tony in that fight that I hope they remember you.
Yeah,
because he says half the world will still be alive after this.
Right.
And that's why he's not trying to convince anything. He's not menacing. He almost burdened that he thinks he has to do this mission.
It's really interesting.
Just the development was very well done, I think. They humanize him a lot with the Gamora story, which you could talk about how believable that is. But an attempt was made.
Like, I don't know. Gamora, it's hard to say with Gamora that, like, oh, it was torture, but, like, from Thanos' perspective, he cared for her.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of weird because the only other time we've really seen Thanos was the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And I think we get a totally different picture of him in that movie than we do here.
Well, you get a peek of him in Avengers.
You get... Not really.
Okay.
The one time he's actually had lines and dialogue was in Guardians, and he definitely seems a lot more menacing and evil there. With this one, he just seems like, this is what has to happen.
Yeah.
I've tried it this way, it's not working, so now I've got to get involved.
Right.
So, I mean, the first scene we see with him is he's already destroyed half the Asgardian ship. And
you called again.
I did. I think the one thing, I thought they were going to do the Xandar scene first.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. They're in the ship, and we'd already seen that he has beat the crap out of Thor, who has just gone Super Saiyan already.
Right. Which is really interesting, because we just saw this, like, Thor at his peak, we've seen him, and then instantly defeated.
And then he goes one-on-one with the Hulk, and I don't think he even uses the stone. He just beats the Hulk.
Beats him. And, like, it's interesting, because it was, like, it already set up the power scale of Thanos. Like, with one Infinity Stone, which granted was the Power Stone, and that's still nothing to, like, you know, like, laugh at. He's totally, like, destroyed the Hulk.
So we've seen the two strongest Avengers get their tuchuses kicked in by Thanos already.
Yeah.
First character loses Heimdall. What did you think about him using the Bifrost the way he did?
I didn't feel like a Deus Ex Machina or anything. But, like, at the same time, I was like, didn't he need the sword and the thing, the cannon?
Yeah, it was like I thought they made it a big deal in the first Avengers that they couldn't really do that, and now he could do it. So, I think it's a little bit of Deus Ex Machina. Not a terrible one.
No.
But that is the first first character to die in this movie.
Which sucks. Idris Elba was so good.
I was not happy about it, but I knew it was coming. And then the Loki death, which I thought was a very nice completion of his arc. Someone posted this online, and I really like it. I've seen the movie twice now. You've only seen it once.
I've only seen it once. I do intend to see it again.
Yeah. When you do see it again, and those of you that are going to see it again, the last time Loki's talking, he's looking at Thanos when he's saying it.
Yeah.
But really think that if he's talking to Thor, I think it works a lot better.
Well, and there's a part where he says Odinson and he looks at Thor.
After he says that, imagine that everything he's saying is actually directed at Thor, and it actually makes the scene a lot better as a good development of the Loki arc from where he was in the first Thor to where he ends up.
Huh.
So it's a good way of looking at that there for those of you, because this is I think it's a very rewatchable movie. As someone who's seen it twice, I almost say you have to see it a second time, because the first time you're just reacting,
right? And
the second time
you're, like, processing.
You're processing. Yeah, this is an interesting movie because most movies try to do a 3-act structure. This is a third act for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Right.
There is no...
I mean, that's kind of what a trilogy should be. Because I look at I know it's not a trilogy, but we've been building up Thanos since Avengers 1.
No, I think even like most movies, even a trilogy, like the third of a trilogy, is going to have that development. Like we look at Ragnarok, we look at Iron Man 3 for whatever it is. You look at Civil War. There's development. You have to know what's going on.
Yeah, you
fully process.
If this was your first Marvel movie, you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, it's not going to make sense.
Which was bold, but it worked so well because they knew all the fans were going to see this.
Another thing I really like in the very beginning, the first time we meet Tony Stark, he's talking to Pepper about having a child.
I love that scene.
Which ties in so well with the plot of this movie.
I like that scene of like... Because Tony's been a weird arc for me personally, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been like, no, I don't need Iron Man. Like, I don't need to be Iron Man.
But I need it.
But then, like, it's like, I need it to, like, protect everyone. And this was like... Him telling Pepper's like, you know me. You know I'm not going to stop. Like, I can't. And so then he kind of goes on about his armor, which I still don't know if it's supposed to be Bleeding Edge or if it's supposed to be the current comics armor.
I think it's basically what we're going to get from Bleeding Edge. I think that's what it is.
All right.
But I really like that ties into this whole idea that life can't sustain itself without some outside force, and that's exactly that's the first instance we get of really our superheroes in there.
Now, here's my question for you. So we start off with Tony in the park and all that. It jumps right in.
And that's why I said this is the third act of a movie for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Part of me wanted to say, like, there's part of me that you know, like how there's what your gut feeling and your brain feeling. It's like everything I've been taught says, yeah, they rushed this, but my gut says, no. It was like it was fine.
No, I think it was totally fine. Like I said, this has been built up for 10 years now. Yeah. We're under the impression that you have seen at least most of, if not all, the Marvel movies. I think they're not... This is what DC was trying to do with Justice League.
Right.
And they did it very unsuccessfully because they did not have the patience to build this up.
Right.
This is what Justice League probably should have been.
Because Doctor Strange shows up and he's like, all right, well...
You get a little bit of development there, but you're right, it's not a lot. Another aspect I like about this is Tony has the cell phone for Cap in his pocket right away.
Like at all times.
At all times, fully charged. He puts that thing on a charge every night. Yeah. You know he does.
That Nokia.
Well, yeah, because that's never going to break.
Yeah, Cap knows. Vibranium. Oh my god, Nokias are made with vibranium. That's the only explanation.
Wait.
Time out. Screw the greatest cinematic event. Vibranium is real and Nokia owns it all.
There is a vein of vibranium somewhere in Sweden. IKEA and Nokia are the only people that can access it. The Children of Thanos, we meet Ebony Maw and the Black Dwarf, I believe is the... They don't really give the names of it.
They don't.
Ebony Maw is the highlight of it, and I think... I really liked him.
Ebony Maw, there's...
Black Dwarf, Corvus Glaive. And Corvus Glaive, yeah. I couldn't even tell you the last... Proxima Midnight. Yeah. But I don't think they ever get names to the other three.
They don't.
So...
And they don't really use the superpowers that they have.
No, they're kind of generic.
They're kind of super soldier, like, minions.
Yeah.
Because, like, Ebony Maw's the talker, right?
Yeah, he's the Squidward.
Because he has... It was interesting, I looked him up. He doesn't have mind control. He has, like, super persuasion. Like, he can persuade people to do things. But they don't use it. They just kind of give him telekinesis.
He's basically a souped-up Strange in this movie.
Right.
Which I like. I like having that counterpart to Strange. It's better than what we got in the Strange movie. It also really highlights how much stronger Strange has got. Yeah. Which is good to see, because Strange is supposed to be one of the more powerful people in Marvel.
He's supposed to be a heavy hitter.
And you could get that vibe in the movie that he is getting there. New York is, I think, a little bit disappointing, just because...
You don't feel the scale.
I don't think you feel just how significant it's supposed to be just yet.
Well, and they did a great job in the trailers, because there's the point where you see, like, Tony and, like, Star-Lord and stuff, and it looks like they're in a ruined city, which they are, but, like, I don't know, when I saw the trailer and I was looking at the background in it, I was like, oh my god, are they in a ruined, like, New York?
Interesting. I don't remember that in the trailers.
Well, and I don't think they changed the background, but I think it was just because of all the wreckage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It just gave me that impression.
No, when they're on Titan.
Yeah. New York, I felt more of a scale of destruction in the first Avengers.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I just think like the other scenes that set up kind of the main plot here, like Scotland, for example. I felt more tension in the Scotland scene than I do in the New York scene. I don't know if that was just because of the setup or how it's intentionally like how they're doing it, but I just didn't feel that. The Lee cameo, very quickly.
I liked that. I'm gonna say love it. My favorite's still in Amazing Spider-Man, but yeah, that was a good cameo.
I liked it. I thought it was okay.
It was Peter Parker on the bus going to like a field trip or something, and then just leave. Then the space, I think they're called Q ships, show up.
I don't know.
It's like the big ring thing.
Yeah.
And then it's just Stanley's bus driver saying, "What? You've never seen an alien spaceship before?"
I mean, to be fair, he's an old guy. He just saw this like 5 years ago, so maybe that is. You know what? I do like it a little more now. We get Spider-Man in his regular suit, but then we very quickly get the Iron Spider.
So I want to talk about this because I really enjoy the way I won't say the way they put Spider-Man into it, but the way it happened, where Tony's in the park dealing with Black Dwarf or whatever, and like Spider-Man shows up, and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely how that would happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because.
But where's Daredevil?
No, they only take care of Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, right.
They saw it, and I'm sure Luke Cage was like, "Should we help out?" And Daredevil's like, "No, we only work in Hell's Kitchen." No, like, because that's totally how it is in the comics sometimes, is like, so-and-so's in New York fighting something, and then so-and-so shows up, and it's like, why are you in New York? Like... So, like, I thought it was really cool that Spider-Man showed up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm helping you out, Mr. Stark," and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, you get that scene, and I guess it shows, again, how strong Maul is, because he's kind of throwing around Spider-Man like it's nothing.
Because his superpower is supposed to be, like, unbreakable skin.
Oh, really?
And super strength. But, yeah, he's supposed to be, like, super hard to kill.
Are you talking about the dwarf or Ebony Maul?
No, the dwarf.
Okay, I was talking about how, like, when he's chasing Ebony Maul...
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of just throws
Get
around.
the wizard.
Yeah. We get that.
By the way, the amount of times they refer to Doctor Strange as a wizard, which he totally is, but like it's just funny in this very sci-fi driven series we have to hear "Go get the wizard." Like,
what do you think about the whole Hulk issue in the movie?
So, Hulk as a character, not Banner. Hulk as a character, it's totally in line of his character. This like, because Hulk's an idiot, but he's proud. And like beforehand he was the strongest, right? And then suddenly he's beaten. So yeah, it's totally in Hulk's character. I hate that it happened through the whole movie.
Yeah, I would have
I was really expecting him to like Hulk out of the Hulkbuster.
Like have some sort of connection where they're like, you know, you can't do this. Like when he says at the end, it's now, this is the last minute.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like clicking in there. He realizes it's not just about him. Yeah, I didn't really like that. I did like, though, the idea that Banner, even though he doesn't have the Hulk, is still involved and in the center of everything in some way.
So I just thought of this. Cinematically, what I would love to see, like the 10-year-old in me would have loved to see, is Banner and the Hulkbuster going at Black Dwarf and like the fist meeting and then just Hulkbuster breaking into the Hulk fist.
That would have been cool.
And like beating the crap out of Black Dwarf. Like, that would have been the coolest scene.
Yeah, and we'll never see it.
And we'll never see it.
So, after the New York scene, we go to Scotland where we have Vision and...
So...
I think the relationship was kind of...
It was sort of hinted at in Ultron that it was starting.
And even in Civil War a little bit, but... I mean, in the comics, that is the relationship, so it makes sense. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I do like that she's basically given up on the accent now.
yeah.
I think it was Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
she's just totally given up on that accent. She's done with it.
Which sucks because it was a fun accent, but I was at first seeing it, I was like, oh, I feel like they rushed this relationship, but then I was like looking back, I was like, well, they're still kind of in the beginning stages.
Yeah, it's not like a full-on relationship, but it's definitely been going on a while. Again, I don't understand Scarlet Witch's powers.
I think that's following the comics because I don't think they're ever. I mean, they switch. They switched like 4 times, I think, in the comics.
Really?
Because at first it was like luck magic, like she could actively affect the odds of outcomes.
Isn't that Domino's power from Deadpool?
No, it's like Domino, but she chooses to do it. Domino just it happens.
Okay.
And then it became, oh no, it's hex magic she uses to change it. And then it was like luck based hex magic, and then it was like reality bending.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know.
One thing I didn't like on my first watch, and I got more in the second watch, is how useless Vision basically is after that.
I was thinking about that. Vision, who was essentially one of the strongest Avengers, is tossed around this movie.
But I realized on the second, on my first watch, I thought Scarlet Witch actually healed the cut. She actually never does.
No.
Like, it starts healing, but he doesn't heal. So he's actually been, like, impaled.
Well, and it's crazy because he's made out of pure vibranium and stuff.
Yeah, and that's telling you how strong that sphere is. And also, I think that points out that I think the time frame of this movie is not as long as we think it is.
No.
I think this is a span of a day or two, this whole movie.
Oh, yeah, it's not long.
Which, it makes you think, like, I think because of all the action you're jumping around, it's taking longer. This is a day or two, I think.
Yeah.
We get the Cap reveal, which is always great. Really awesome.
That was a really good fight scene, too.
It was very well done. I don't really believe if these are supposed to be 4 of the strongest people in the universe that group should have been able to beat them as easily as they did.
No, but it was awesome to see this like covert Avengers group. Mm-hmm. That's like not Avengers, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think much to say. Like I said, I felt more tension during the Scotland scene. I think it's the first time I've ever had a jump scare in a Marvel movie where he like gets stabbed out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was insane.
And I don't think that's ever happened to me in a Marvel movie.
I think when we saw that the first night, like everyone in the theater gasped.
Yeah.
It was awesome. That was like, if there was one Marvel movie to go to the opening night of, that was it.
Yeah, we were talking that was the first time we'd gone to opening night of a movie since The Winter Soldier, which, if we're looking at the scores, that's holding pretty well for Infinity War. Space was great. Love the Guardians.
So, I love that they were able to make that tone shift.
Yeah, that's a tough tone shift to make.
It is, because we went from Scotland, this like incredibly serious, like, you go from like a secret love to like this action scene to like Vision being impaled and stuff, and
to
like,
Rubber Band Man, to
just all the fun and lightness that comes.
I want to point out that song is already on the Guardians playlist on Spotify, and it's amazing.
Awesome. I want to point out that what I thought was really interesting is that Gamora was like singing, not like full force.
Oh yeah, but she was definitely jamming to the music.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that in this dark, grim movie we've had so far. And I think what's really nice is because they jump around to what they are, you almost got the separate tones of the movie.
Right. It felt like when we went to the Guardians, it felt like a Guardians movie.
Yeah. And like if you think the Iron Man movie kind of felt like an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy that you can get those different tones so well.
Yeah.
This is a huge editing marvel.
And I think what helped is who they paired them with. Because like Iron Man and Doctor Strange kind of were similar feeling.
I mean, it's two Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly. And then you get the Hulk that can kind of fit in wherever he needs to. Like Banner's, Mark Ruffalo is a great actor. He can literally fit into any of those tones fine.
You basically have Black Panther and Captain America that go well together.
Yeah, and then Guardians and Thor.
Which a year ago I would have said that's a terrible matchup, but now
after Ragnarok it
makes perfect sense. I actually really hope Thor maybe is like the Hulk of the Guardians universe. That'd be cool.
I mean, in the comics, the Guardians have a lot of different... Like, Iron Man's part of the Guardians at one point. The Thing's the part of the Guardians at one point.
What?
The Thing's the Guardian of the Galaxy at one point.
Huh.
Valkyrie's a part of... I don't know if it's Valkyrie, but I think there's someone named Valkyrie as part of the Guardians at one point. I would love to see a Guardians movie with Thor buddying around with them.
Yeah, and then we get the Thor revival, and he says he needs to go get a weapon that can kill Thanos.
We need to go back.
Did I miss something?
The scene of just the Guardians over Thor is like one of the funniest scenes because it's set up to attack Star-Lord's ego. And I love it because Drax is just like, you're not a man. This is a man. It's like
he's like an angel and a pirate.
Angel had a baby.
Yes, that was very well done. I mean, Drax is just knocking out the
Drax Comedy Hour Part 2.
Yeah, Drax is killing it. I really like Mantis in this movie too. I thought she did a great job with her development. I thought like she was going to be kind of useless because if you think about her powers, it's not like
in an action sense, not great.
But it made a lot of it worked. It worked really well. So again, that's just such great chemistry there. The one thing I will say, I thought Groot was super annoying till the end of the movie.
Which sucks, because Groot, like, made the first two.
Yeah, and he was just really bad in this movie.
Like, yeah. Teenage Groot sucks.
Yeah. So, like I said, then they go get we get the split of the Guardians here, because they have a bunch of morons. Yeah. And they have 2 ships and a bunch of morons.
Yep. So,
Thor's getting his new weapon, which we'll talk about that then. But then the Guardians are going to go nowhere to get the reality stone before Thanos can. He already has 2 of them.
So I want to talk about this scene where they
nowhere?
go and so they go in and everything's quiet and cold.
Do you think, like, can I just talk about the fact that did the director of The Dark World realize he could have done crap like this?
I don't think he did, because the reality stone, like, is used for this kind of stuff a lot.
The reality stone was so cool in this movie.
So, like, when I was watching this scene, this is why the scene's great. I was watching the scene, and, you know, everything happens. They, like, stab Thanos. And, like, there's a moment where, like, I was legitimately... I don't know if you noticed me in the theater doing this. I was legitimately like, huh? And then I stopped and I was like, he has the stone. I literally said that to myself. I was like, he has it.
There were a couple times I did something in the movie. I was like, what? No, they can't be it.
Yeah. So, like, when he stabbed Thanos, at first I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, no, he has the stone already.
Yeah, the way they use it is so well done.
It was so crazy. There was a point, I thought Drax died.
I thought Drax and Manus were both dead.
Yeah.
I thought they both died in that scene.
Yeah, and then, I guess, I don't know if he just...
Maybe I'm so used to the Game of Thrones mindset where, like, they die and there's not any, like...
Right.
You know, pomp and circumstance around it. They just die.
And I felt like the Reality Stone added... It kind of added some humor to Thanos, because he was just messing with them.
The bubbles. He loves bubbles.
The bubbles, the, like, just making Mantis turn into ribbons. Like, he could have just made her explode, you know? But no, he turned her into ribbons, he turned Drax into blocks. Like, it was like, I'm toying with you.
And then we get that scene between Star-Lord and Gamora.
That was an incredible... I think that one scene showed a lot of development for Star-Lord.
I think that's... In all honesty, that might be some of Chris Pratt's best acting.
It really was. Because there's the talk previously...
And I'm not just talking in the MCU, I'm talking about in movies.
Because there was a talk previously between...
Yeah, him and Gamora.
Between Star-Lord and Gamora, and it's like, look, if Thanos gets me, kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not going to do that. He's like, no, you really have to do it. And, like, it's also the great scene with Drax, where he's sitting there eating...
Drax wasn't in that scene.
Oh, you're right. He wasn't. It was Mantis. I'm sorry.
It was Mantis that said hi Drax to an empty screen. I don't know what she was doing.
I didn't get... If only John Cena played Drax.
There's actually a picture of John Cena and Drax at a picnic. It's just a picnic basket in a field.
No, it was really funny. Drax is sitting there, and, like, they like, kissed or whatever, and he's like, how long have you been sitting there? He's like, I've mastered the art of standing so still, I'm invisible. And he's, like, slowly starts to eat, like, a chip or something.
Yeah, I just thought it was great development there.
Yeah, it was just, like, Star-Lord struggling to pull the trigger. And then when he finally does, just bubbles come out, and Thanos is like, I like you.
I think that was just more Thanos acknowledging, like, there's very few... I think he really relates to people that have the will he does.
Yeah.
This idea that it's not the prettiest path, but it's the path you have to take.
Yeah.
I also like the headcanon, and I'm going to make headcanon.
Okay.
Here. The only reason Drax and Mantis were able to come back to that is because Peter did that. Had Peter not done that, he would have just left them as blocks or whatever.
Yeah, the first I was like, at this point, does the Reality Stone have a range? And I was like, no, it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he had the Power Stone and the Reality Stone. If he just had the Reality Stone, it's like, maybe? But, yeah, and, you know, after you say that, it kind of makes me think of how, like, man, a lot of the heroes in Thanos have a lot in common.
Yeah.
They've had to make those hard decisions.
And it's because I think they're trying to make Thanos relatable. Like,
man, and
that's been a problem.
An amazing job.
That's been a huge problem with Marvel villains. They have not made them relatable.
Would you watch a Thanos movie?
I just did.
I mean, like an origin, like the Thanos the origin movie.
I mean, probably.
Thanos Origins.
Yeah.
Thanos Man Origins.
Thanos
trying to make a Wolverine X-Men Origins.
I know. Thanos Origins Titan.
Titan Origins.
Titan Origins Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would. Josh Brolin knocked it out of the park with this. He did so well.
Good.
Yeah, and I think that was just good development there. The spaceship, I think that's an okay... Again, if I had to rank, we have essentially 3 adventures here, I'm guessing. I'm going to put 3 adventures. You have the Earth adventure.
Okay.
You have the Titan adventure.
Okay.
And you have the Thor adventure.
Yeah.
I think the space one is probably my least favorite, I think.
The Thor one?
No, the Iron Man one. I just thought it was so out of character. So they get rid of Ebony Maw, which is whatever. I mean, I thought it was kind of anticlimactic to get rid of it, but also they couldn't keep him around.
I want to bring up something that we brought up in the bonus episode. We were talking about the Iron Spider suit.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yeah, and they didn't have the creepy legs like they do in the comics, so that's a plus. We learned creepy legs optional.
Creepy legs when needed.
Yeah, they popped out, and I love it because Spider-Man's just like, oh man, that's amazing. What is it? Like, it's so good. Yeah, but let's talk about the Iron Spider suit for a second. What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I'm not as huge into Spider-Man lore as you are. I don't like the mechanical legs. I feel like
no, it's definitely weird.
But I mean, like it's whatever. I mean, his original suit's basically an Iron Spider suit as it is.
It really is. I think that is what kind of sucks about how they did it.
Yeah, I think they really should have had his like homegrown suit through Homecoming and then have this big reveal here.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about the space scene, which I didn't like, is I thought both Strange and Stark were a little out of character here.
Okay.
I don't see once they get rid of Maul, I don't see any reason why Strange, who has specifically said, my goal is to protect the Time Stone.
Wouldn't just portal out?
Why is he going when he knows Thanos is going to be there at the end and he's going to want the Time Stone? And we know for a fact he already has at least 2 stones.
Here's what bugs me. What would have made that way better, I think, and totally fixed your issue? Show Maul destroying his sling ring.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason at any point he can't just, whoop, I'm gone.
Unless there's range to it, I don't know.
It's dimensional magic.
But then, I want to finish my point here. Why does Stark think there's 3 of them on that ship?
Right.
Remember, the Guardians he does not know who the Guardians are. He does not know they're coming. He thinks that Spider-Man, him, and Strange can beat Thanos with 2 stones. After they did not beat his little minions on Earth.
Right.
And he's like, oh, well, we have the Element of Surprise. The Element of Surprise isn't going to work with the Reality Stone. I know they don't know about that yet, but there's no way. This plan doesn't make sense.
No.
Like, they should be taking that ship back to Earth and trying to recoup. They know where at least 2 of the stones are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I have to agree.
I think that's the weakest of the 3, just because I think both of them are playing out of character. Like, why would Stark, who's literally the last thing he has with Pepper is his phone call saying, don't leave Earth, why would he not want to go back the first second he could?
Well, so I will say maybe I can defend that a little bit, because there's the, there's the callback to Avengers, where it was...
Yeah, but
and, like, Tony Stark has always been the guy who's, like, at the end of the day, he's gonna do the right thing. So I think maybe he's going with his gut, but I don't know.
I just think the Space Avengers are the weakest.
I also don't get why wouldn't they use the Time Stone in that fight?
That's not really. I mean, I think he did, and I mean, the whole thing we're playing is the Strange Ex Machina, that he's seen the future where they win, and he's playing it out exactly how it is.
Right.
So let's just do the Titan scene now, and we'll go through the 3 scenes,
right,
scene by scene, and do it that way. The Titan scene where they meet the Guardians, I thought that was hysterical.
That was really good.
It's really funny because everyone's in character, and I love just that one look where, what is it? When Mantis says we're here to chew ass and kick, or what? Chew ass and kick gum, and that look of Stark's face, just like so like defeated. Like, what am I working with here?
yeah.
Is probably the greatest scene in the Marvel Cinematic.
Where you're going with like one of the most experienced superheroes dealing with the most
Mantis and Drax,
the most misfit group of superheroes.
But and then you see him using the Time Stone. He sees 14 million, however many.
14,501,000.
I think it's 3. I thought it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it's 1.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And there's one time where they win this fight. Which, again, you're putting a lot of hope that he saw the one that's...
Never tell me the odds.
Basically. I think that fight scene is pretty well done. I love the little monologue, not monologue, but conversation you have with Thanos and Strange, where he used the Reality Stone to show what it used to look like, and kind of gives, again, more development to Thanos of who he is.
Well, it shows how he got the moniker the Mad Titan.
Mm-hmm. Because he says it should be totally random, no control over anything.
Right.
I guess we forgot to talk about the Soul Stone, too.
Man, talk about the biggest twist.
Yeah.
I don't think
We're gonna pause Titan for a second.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have called that.
I mean, I could have called that he wasn't dead, but I did not think he was going to be in this movie.
You called he wasn't dead, but
I called that back in January, sir.
But you never would have called.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. But yeah, that Red Skull reveal, that was amazing.
Like, because I swear when I was watching, I was like, is that a... Like, I was listening, I was like, is that a German accent? Why are they giving a Ghost of Germany accent?
Which, funny, it's not Hugo Weaving. He said he's not coming back to role. It's just some guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but just that reveal and the idea that he got transported to... His one goal was to collect the stones, and he got the one stone he can never get.
Right.
Because of the sacrifice there. We talk about the Gamora thing.
So it's the question of, is she safe because she died?
I think she is.
Do you think she's in the Soul Stone?
I think I think the fact that you see so much of a young Gamora throughout the movie after that in orange scenes.
Oh, I never even noticed the
If you notice the coloring when you see young Gamora after that, it's in orange.
Brendon!
Those Russo brothers.
Man, they're really good.
They are very good.
They're really good.
But yeah, I think she's still alive. I think anyone who died, I've said this theory, besides her, everyone who died pre-snap is dead. Loki's dead, Heimdall's dead.
Yeah.
Whoever else I'm missing, dead.
I'm a little sad about Loki's death because it happened at a really... Like, it's a satisfying end to his arc, but it was a really unsatisfying point.
Yeah.
I think because it was like, him and Thor finally made amends. Like, I would have loved to see, like, an actual, like, Loki-Thor buddy cop movie. Like, where it's... And I know that's kind of Ragnarok, but I mean, like, the whole time. Just the two of them.
Yeah, that is true.
There's always time for a prequel.
Yeah, he turns into a frog.
Throg.
You get there?
Throg!
Yeah, I think Gamora's still alive. I think they're going to bring her back with the Soul Stone. But I just... Did you believe the whole Thanos love Gamora thing?
I did.
Did you?
Because, so, like, here's the thing, right? I think it's all a matter of perspective. Where, like, Thanos was like, no, I've been training you to do what needs to be done. You know, that's kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think truly from his perspective, he did love her. Now, I know how he showed that's different, you know. But I think truly in the end, because you see with the flashback scene of her as a girl, and, like, how he talks to her, and he never gets, like, angry, even though she's, like, super defiant and super, like...
I guess the one problem I have is her biggest fear is if she's ever caught, he will kill her.
Right.
That's literally been hammered into us now through 3 full movies. It's 2.5 full movies.
Yeah.
That it's kind of hard for me to believe that it's this much of a relationship.
Yeah.
That's my one thing. And again, it's hard when you're trying to plan in 2014 your movie that comes out in 2018.
Exactly.
And you've got 6 other movies in between that.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a little bit of a pass there. But that was the one thing. I guess Nebula also having that, conveniently having that recording.
Yeah. Like, can't you delete that stuff?
Yeah, there's no reason for you to keep that.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, yeah, we'll go back to Titan now that we kind of covered the Soul Stone. I also kind of don't know what the Soul Stone does. Like, the other ones have those defined powers. Well, even that, the Mind Stone's a little weird.
I think it can, like, bring things to life and stuff, but I don't know.
It's a little different.
The only time I would say maybe it came into effect is, like, with the vines in Wakanda, but... You like slaves are kind of roots come out of, like, maybe that was it, but that could have also been reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you get that fight scene on Titan. I love the discussion between Strange and Thanos. I think that's really well done. You get the backstory.
There's even a bit of a discussion with Thanos and Iron Man.
Yeah, it's towards the end there.
Because there's like, I too am cursed with knowledge.
Yeah, when he says he knows who Stark is.
Yeah.
I think the fight's really well done. It's cool. I think everyone gets a good role in it.
And then Star-Lord ruins it.
Listen, you.
Hey, I love Star-Lord too, but he goofed.
All right, so no, I'm gonna defend. I'm gonna be a Star-Lord defender here.
Okay.
Star-Lord did nothing wrong, because if you look at his movie, that is the exact rational thing. That is the most.
Oh,
had Star-Lord done anything else, it would have been out of character.
It is, but like, don't get me wrong. Guardians 2, that's like my favorite scene when he just shoots up.
And let's flip it. If Thanos had said he had killed Pepper Potts and Tony was there, what would have happened?
Okay, so my biggest thing is like, the reason Star-Lord messed up is because he punched him in the face. That's it. If he punched him anywhere else, I would have been fine. You know why? Because he knocked Mantis' hands off. That's it.
But it's just... Listen, everyone's saying like he messed up. It's like, literally, that is his character.
No,
that is who he is.
Oh, no. I'm not saying I agree. He would have been out of character. He still goofed.
No.
He still goofed.
I think he was very true to his character, and I appreciate
I'm not saying I hate that scene. I'm just saying, objectively, he's the one who goofed.
If we want to talk about people ruining the universe, how about freaking Captain America keeping Vision alive for that long when he's like, please kill me. Please kill me.
Anyway, Vision the whole time just like, just do it. Just end me.
It's not hard. Just do it. Yeah, I think that scene's very well done. I just love how the whole focus was to make sure he can't close his hand to use the gauntlet, and how many different ways they do it.
They webbed it up. Oh, one of my favorite Spider-Man moments, the magic.
Magic with a kick.
Magic with a kick. Also, someone you've seen it twice. Maybe you can clarify.
I cannot confirm this, but you want to believe it, so believe it.
Someone said, I wasn't paying attention to it the first time I saw it. Brendon saw it twice. He can't confirm it. Someone said there's a scene where Thanos is choking Spider-Man, and he's like, little insect. And while Spider-Man's choking, my friend said he swore he heard him say, actually, it's arachnid. And I'm like, I don't think it happened, but my heart of hearts wants to say that's such a Spider-Man thing to do. I really hope it did. Mm-hmm. Like, just even in the last moments, yeah, I'm still gonna be a smartass.
The moon scene.
The moon scene?
Where he takes the moon, crushes it, and throws it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
If that's not probably the most iconic villain scene in the MCU.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. He just destroys a moon and
Spider-Man's
it down.
Spider-Man's first... I love that Spider-Man's first reaction was to go help the other people.
Oh, yeah.
While he's doing that. The scene between... I really love the scene Stark and Thanos. How Stark's using everything in his power, and you can see how he's redirecting the nanobots, and every time they knock something off, he takes nanobots from somewhere else, and you can see like he's losing his suit as he's doing this. It's so well done, so much detail.
Good. So good.
And then we get the scene where Strange comes to bargain.
Why didn't they? Why didn't he just lock him in?
Just lock him in a time loop?
Just lock him all in.
I feel like something with the Reality Stone could break that.
I don't know. Maybe space.
Thanos, I've come to bargain.
Yeah.
And he trades the time stone.
Well, so Strange has a lot of crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's like he goes like Zenyatta if you play Overwatch. This character's ultimate is he gets like 8 other holographic arms.
Oh, he uses multiform.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he uses his shadow clone.
I do love he tries to use the mirror dimension, and Thanos just blows it away.
Thanos like, no. Which Reality Stone, I will say, yeah. He does. I'm sure I'm not a Doctor Strange fan. I know there are iconic spells for Doctor Strange, and I'm sure some were used there.
Yeah, I've seen some mentions of that. Like, for example, the red strands he uses when he's in multiform. Yeah. That's apparently a big one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
And he trades it for Tony's life.
Which he made a point of saying, like, if it's you or the kid or the gem, I'm picking the gem. And then he does otherwise.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, this is the common theory now that this is the one way they win.
Which I want to say I'm pretty proud of. I was like, right after the movie, I was like, so this is the one way he saw.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, good thinking.
I do want to point something else too. We're going to jump a little ahead here. Mm-hmm. You'll notice the last thing Strange says, he looks at Tony and says, this was the only way.
Yeah.
Do you know who the next person to vanish is?
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Because he knew that was going to crush Tony.
Oh. What sucks, I saw a theory on why Spider-Man said what he said. And why his took long. Because his spider sense?
Well, that's the other thing. Later on, you see Mantis says something's wrong first, because that's her powers, is to feel like those kind of things. So I thought that was interesting. Let's not go too far ahead of there, though. Let's go to the other space guys.
Oh yeah, your most mind blown. Red Skull, you were mind blown. This was like past Red Skull.
The Thor, Groot, and Rocket are such a great team.
Thor, Groot, and Rocket, but I'm talking about
when Peter Dinklage is a 12-foot dwarf.
The Dinkle Dwarf.
Dinkle Dwarf comes out. Well, I was gonna say, and even when they're going there, the connection between Rocket and Thor is very well done. You see that, you kind of can see that Yondu influence on Rocket, which is good to see. Mm-hmm. And then Thor saying, "Well, he's never fought me." He's like, "Yeah, he did." He's like, "Well, he's never fought me twice." Great Thor line.
Thor does the same kind of Ragnarok-y thing, where he's like, "Yeah, everyone I know is pretty much dead, and like blah blah blah, but you know, mourning is a great way to fuel battle and stuff." And I'm like, dude, you need like therapy.
No, I think they did a much better job in this movie than they did in Ragnarok of developing Thor. I think it's very well done.
Okay.
So we get to Dinkle Dwarf. They have to build the new axe, Stormbreaker, that can call the Bifrost.
Yeah,
that's the coolest thing.
That's like, I didn't quite process that when he said it, but I was like, wait a minute, he can just call the Bifrost whenever.
So we get that scene of them fixing up the furnace, which they also point out that
can you talk about how that's like the most video game scene? Because it's like, oh, did you get this cool thing? You now have to do 3 other things.
Yeah, it was basically God of War.
Yeah, it was.
I do like the rationale they have that he left him alive just in case he ever needs the gauntlet fixed again, which is a nice little key at the end of the movie.
And he locked his hands up.
But he's able to make it. But to do this, Thor has got to keep the gate open in front of a dwarf star.
Essentially, they channel the power of the dwarf star into the forge to heat Uru metal, which is stronger than vibranium. And it's what like Mjolnir was made out of.
Yeah.
And the issue is Thor now has to open a lens to let the full power of a dwarf star in.
And he's got to do it for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So he holds it open, and again, you see, I love the effect. You can see his like skin burning away.
Yeah. Man, Asgardians are just BS, right?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. He kind of gets shot in because he can't handle it anymore, but he's melted the metal, but they can't find the handle.
Right.
Which is the one useful thing Groot has so far in this movie.
I want to point out, I told our one coworker this today too. I saw something months ago, like months before Infinity War, that said like, yeah, Groot's hand is going to be the handle to Thor's new axe. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I mean, I've heard rumors of that just because the toys, it's like, oh, it's a wooden handle. It's got to be Groot.
Yeah.
But they did it.
They did. And so, someone tried to say today, like, if Groot's arm is the handle, doesn't that make him worthy? And I was like, but it's not Mjolnir.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about that.
Yeah.
So that's how we get Thor's hammer. Again, I like that a lot. I know some people don't like the Dinklage parts, but
really?
I've heard people say they're not a fan of that. I think he did a great job.
I think he does it traumatized dwarf well.
Yeah, I think it was fine. And let's go to Earth. So right after Scotland, we actually go in Thunderbolt Ross, still in power, which I think is nice.
And it's totally like a Brody switch sides since Civil War, because he's totally like, well, you know, if you hadn't made those papers, and we wouldn't be in this mess. And he's like, you signed those papers. He's like, you're right, I did.
And look at my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of get some background. We get the Banner interaction with Romanoff, which is... Yeah. They tried to play it off.
Kind of that awkward, like, oh, hey.
You're still here. They eventually realize the only way to really do this, because Vision... They won't kill Vision.
Even though he practically should just be saying, screaming.
I just love where he's like, Cap, you did the same thing like 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, doesn't matter. Not doing it now.
Vision's the only, like, reasonable one who's like, no, I'm willing to make the sacrifice because it means we win. Like, and everyone's like, no, we're not leaving a soldier behind. Even to the point where he's like, you guys did the same things.
So they realize there's only one lab in the world that they can go to for this.
Cue The Weeknd. And Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, there you go. Now I get it. So they go to Wakanda, which, again, I love going to Wakanda. I love all the characters in Wakanda. They get the White Wolf, the Winter Soldier back. They give him an arm.
Yeah.
So they know it's going to be an all-out battle. So Shuri is going to remove the stone, but there's like 1 billion neurons she's got to disconnect or something like that. The idea being there's enough of other people in there that Vision could still survive without the stone. Which...
Right, because there's like Tony and Jarvis and Banner all like layered on top
Ultron
of each other. Ultron, yeah.
It just brings up, like, what's his powers then, though? Like, what is the source of his power besides he's a vibranium robot?
Yeah, he might have... I don't know. I mean, he could be outfitted.
Yeah, but... Yeah, okay. So, they have to buy them time, so the whole army of Wakanda with friends goes out to stop the last of the
Midnight Order.
children of Thanos.
Yeah.
So we get this huge fight scene. And little disappointed in this part. I mean, I think it's cool, but it's a generic fight scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well done.
Yeah.
They look like giant hyena dog things.
It kind of reminded me of Venom.
They do kind of look like Venom, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Venom. So I was like, I guess they could do that because Venom is from space. Like, Venom, there's a species of Venom.
Mm-hmm.
They're called, like, Clintar, and it's actually an interesting story that deals with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but yeah, Agent Venom goes into space with them. He becomes a Guardian of the Galaxy. He's another one of them.
Oh, okay. Everyone's a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's pretty open.
I just think I love the scene. They have to open the force field because they're going to eventually get around.
Yeah, so they're like just watching these monsters like charge in the field and die, and then eventually they start splitting off, and they're like, "All right, we gotta open this."
So they open the gate, and then you see Black Panther and Captain America charge forward without everyone.
E-Bomb-Bay!
Oh my gosh,
so
the chants and all that.
It's like, it's so good.
M'Baku is so cool.
Oh, I love that. There's a point where she's like, "Yeah, call him M'Baku." He's like, "M'Baku, really?" He's like, "Yeah, he loves to fight."
Oh, it's so good. Like this whole scene's. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that that's what the final kind of climax was, just another mindless battle, but at the same time, it's so well done. You see, like, War Machine just carpet bomb.
That's great, and then, like, Falcon's, like, the other air support.
Yeah, and they're doing really well. Like, if they had any flyers there, they would have done really well there.
Yeah. If they had, like, if Tony was there, or, like...
The Nova Corps was there.
I would love a Nova movie. John C. Reilly is Nova.
No, that's never going to happen.
No, but it would be good.
And then probably the hypest scene in the movie, the one that got our theater at least, the loudest.
Clarify, there were a lot of loud parts.
When the battle's going bad, the Hulkbuster's been knocked down.
Oh, man. Okay.
And the Bifrost lands in the middle of the battlefield.
Oh, it's so good.
And we don't even see anyone yet. We just see the axe come out.
Yeah.
And out comes Thor with Rocket and Groot in the middle of this battle, and I think that was the loudest I heard the theater all night.
Oh yeah, no, we were all screaming.
It was, and then him just yelling, "Bring me Thanos!
Bring me Thanos!" No, I love they did, and they somehow still fit in comedy into a battle scene. Like when Thor sees
Steve Rogers.
Yeah, when Thor sees Captain America, he's like, "Oh, copying my beard," and Cap's like, "Get a haircut." He's like, "Oh," he's like. Groot's just like whipping around monsters and stuff.
He's basically doing the thing from Guardians 1.
Yeah, and he's just like, "This is my friend. He's a tree." He's like, "I am Groot," and he's like, "I am Steve Rogers."
Because he's polite, man. You can't be rude to the new friend.
It's really good.
That scene where Winter Soldier picks up Rocket and is just spinning him around.
I like that in a civilization of like laser weapons and sonic weapons, they give Winter Soldier like an assault rifle.
Yeah, well, that's what he's good with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get this whole fight scene. They, like I said, I think we kind of talked about it. It's really cool, but in hindsight, I wish it was more than just a mindless drone army. You get the Hulkbuster scene where he's fighting Black dwarf and he kills him using the Hulk Buster. The Hulk
Yeah.
never comes out. They Suri gets attacked by Corvus Glade.
Which they again another point where they don't use his power, because there's a point where they like almost kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like what his whole power was he can't die unless you break his weapon.
Yes.
So that's kind of lame. I thought he was going to be like the big bad of the minions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the pretty one, the big dumb strong one, and the weird one with crazy powers.
And
Squidward.
So they have that fight. Vision eventually, they can't get rid of the stone. Vision starts fighting it, fighting Corvus Glaive. I mean, and you get Proxima Midnight and the girl fight, which is kind of cool. You see all that.
I thought that was well done. I thought it wasn't ham-fisted like it could have been.
No, but I did think it was well done that you have them all conveniently there and kicking her butt. You get Scarlet Witch with the craziest power, just picking up these giant like roller things and throwing them around. And then we get the scene where, you know, Vision's in the woods. Mm-hmm. No one's really around him, so everyone is going towards him. Mm-hmm. And Thanos comes.
Which I called in our bonus episode where I said this is going to end up being a chase for Vision. He's going to be the last one.
Which I did not think it was going to be the last one. I literally thought the Wakanda fight was the first like hour of the movie.
Yeah. No, I thought it was going to be Vision's going to be the last one because he's the hero. So.
And all the heroes try and stop him, and he's using the stone.
Yeah, that was an incredible. That's a crazy fight.
While Scarlet Witch is trying to blow up the stone because they know this is it.
Right, because the whole theory is that because her powers were from the Mind Stone, they can destroy it.
Yes.
So like, they're essentially all the heroes are the line of defense against Thanos as he's charging for Vision, and they succeed. They do it.
Yeah.
And then Thanos comes up. He's like, oh, "I know what it is to lose." He's like, "I know, loss well," or something to Scarlet Witch.
But there's no time to mourn.
Yeah, and he just rewinds it, and for a second I was like, "Oh right," and then I'm like, "But isn't there like a freebie with an Infinity Stone? Like, can you rewind an Infinity Stone being broken?"
He just did.
Yeah.
And how about Scarlet Witch having to watch Vision die twice?
That has to suck.
Because he just rips it out of his skull, like, does not...
It's kind of weird to see him go gray.
Yeah, he loses all the color, so, like, all the life's out of him.
Yeah.
And... But wait, it's not over yet. Because a giant axe gets thrown at the Infinity... Stormbreaker takes on all 6 Infinity Stones and wins.
Stormbreaker's an amazing weapon. It's rad. Lightning axe.
So cool. It hits him in the chest.
Which, this is the biggest... I think this is the biggest middle finger to the whole
this
audience.
is Thor being so cocky and arrogant, saying, like, I told you I was going to kill you for what you did. And you just hear, like, Thanos, like, kind of wheezing and whining, and you're like, okay, Thor, finish him off. Okay, Thor, finish him off. And then he says, you should have aimed for the head. And you get the snap.
If he just would have, like, started beating him instead of talking, like, just going nuts, beating his face in, probably would have won.
Yeah. But no. And then
he snaps. And it was like, I think that was, I mean, obviously we're in a movie everyone wanted to be there and see. And so it was quiet, but like...
There's no music for the last 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, and it's obvious. Like, it's done so well to the point of it's just being like, oh my god. You're literally just watching a lot of your favorite heroes fade away.
Are you surprised with the heroes they picked?
Yes. I thought for sure they would. I thought it was going to be more even keel between old and new. Because they got rid of Falcon. They got rid of Black Panther. Black Panther shocked me.
Black Panther, yeah, because the last words he says is, this is no place to die, as he goes to dust.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch is gone. The Winter Soldier.
That one shocked me.
Groot
shocked me. All the Guardians. The only one left
Rocket
is
and Nebula.
Nebula's dead.
Nebula's still alive.
I think Nebula's dead.
No, she's...
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. She is.
Yeah, she's alive with Tony on Titan.
Yeah,
They're the only 2 left.
Yeah.
Because imagine if Tony was by himself. He's stuck there.
Oh, man. Yeah, like, Spider-Man. Oh, my God. I'm a Spider-Man fan. That broke my heart.
You... Sharp... Punctuated.
Did I lie?
No, you were very honest about that.
Sharp punctuated. The whole theater heard it. Kids and all. I walked out of that movie. The best way I explained that for the next 2 days, everyone asked me, "Oh, how's the movie?" And I would say, "You know when you see a good movie but you're mad at it? And like,
No.
What do you mean? And I'm like it's a great movie, and it's so good, and I was so into what happened that I'm mad at it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh. I was like, yeah. Because I was in because Spider-Man seems like the worst to watch. Because he was like, oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good, United States, Canada falling away.
Yeah.
All the memes.
It was, man, it was horribly sad.
Yeah, it is tough to watch.
And it was Tony's apprentice and this kid he tried to protect.
Now, with time, processing in theater, I'm just like, oh my god, what just happened?
Right.
But processing it, you realize something's got to change. And this is, again, I'm being very critical of this movie. I'm going to give it a very high score, but I am going to point out that it's not a perfect movie.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because everyone's riding this hype train, and you almost have to.
Now, the one thing I'm a little upset is the Russo brothers promised that these would be complete movies.
Right.
That you don't have to watch Avengers 3 to understand Avengers 4 or all that. There is no way you can do that with the way it is. Just because of who you took out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Black Panther just made $1 billion. There's no way Black Panther's gone forever.
Right.
And
Spider-Man did well. People love Spider-Man.
Now, I actually looked it up here. You might have heard some clicking in the middle of this. Mm-hmm. I looked up future Marvel movies. Now, I was actually surprised of what was announced. There's not a lot announced.
Right.
We have Ant-Man and the Wasp. That we all knew that was happening.
Right.
You have Captain Marvel. We knew that was happening. And we get the Stinger scene at the end of the movie.
Right.
Untitled Avengers movie. Untitled.
Still
untitled. I think it's going to be untitled until July.
I saw one that said Avengers Endgame.
But here are the only other 2 movies announced right now. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure they have more planned. These are only 2 announced. Spider-Man sequel. So we know Spider-Man has come back. Or they're getting Miles Morales. Which, either way, I'm okay.
He's still too young. Without his uncle being the Prowler, he's still too young.
And Guardians 3. Those are the only 2 movies announced right now.
Here's the issue with Guardians 3. The Guardians cast in the comics and stuff is a revolving door.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was like... I thought the movie was like, oh, they're going to have more. It was like, well, you could have Black Panther... I mean, I know you hate this, but you could have Black Panther be a title and not a character.
You could have Shuri be Black Panther.
Yeah,
that happened.
Or M'Baku. I want M'Baku.
I don't. I'd rather have Shuri. I love Shuri and Black Panther.
I mean, but you could have that be the Black Panther. You could have, like you said, a revolving door of Guardian. I don't think they're going to do this,
Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill.
The options are there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising with that. So the only one that really has to come back is Peter Parker. You would think.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's scary. And you pointed out, I didn't notice it in the theaters until you said it. You notice how all the original Avengers are left?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping they'd be more of a blend.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is those that are alive are dead.
Mm.
Or the one theory I like, I don't think it's true, but the one theory I like is those that didn't dissolve are actually the ones that got stuck in the soul gem.
Oh,
the soul stone.
No!
And everyone else is actually still alive on the outside.
I don't like that at all.
I think that's interesting. I don't think that's the way it's going. I think eventually... I think Tony and Cap are going to make...
I want to see Tony... I really want to see... I don't know why I love seeing, heroes, enraged. But I really want to see how Tony is after Peter Parker died.
Yeah.
Because I think that was, I think that was an interesting character development for Tony in Spider-Man. It was, now he has this kid that he kind of has to watch over. And, kind of take under his wing and kind of make sure he doesn't mess up. And he doesn't, get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he just totally failed.
Yeah. Plus, we have no idea what happened to Pepper.
We have no idea if Pepper's alive. We have no idea if Aunt May's alive. Which, if she is, I can see that becoming a big thing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Thanos goes to a farm and just becomes Farmer Thanos.
I thought Thanos was gonna die. I literally thought he was gonna snap his fingers and he was gonna be the last one to fade away.
And he would have been perfectly balanced.
Yeah. Imagine that. Just to that would almost have been the most I've just won. Is now you can't even get your revenge.
Another theory I've heard, I don't know how much you want to believe this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw it out there though. By Strange making Thanos spare Tony, he has made it not a 50-50 split. or totally random. So it's actually ruined his plan, and that's how they're going to be able to.
What, they're gonna make Thanos like redo it?
They're gonna be like, well, it's not, you didn't do it randomly, so it's able to be undone or something like that.
Huh.
Again, there's been a lot of crackpot theories out there. I'm just throwing a bunch of them.
Is collect the 7 Dragon Balls and make the wishes.
Yeah, that's what the quantum realm is going to be about.
Get that Dragon Ball. You gotta get them all.
Yeah, it's a very somber end to the movie. The last line in the movie is Captain America saying, "Oh God."
Yeah.
And then you get the stinger scene where everyone is disintegrating in the city, and they get the Captain Marvel pager off.
No, even better. Samuel L. Jackson almost says, "Mofo."
He does finally almost say in a Marvel movie.
Oh, mother! And then just fades away.
Which, I mean, you get one F word in a PG-13 movie.
One non-sexual
Yes.
F word.
And
Do you think they should have done it? Do you think they just should have gone...
It's Disney.
Just gone all in?
It's Disney.
I would have... If I was the Russo brothers, I would have been like, look, we have this movie. People are going to love it. Give us this. No, don't do it for us. Do it for Sam.
Do it for America.
Do it for Sam. Do it for America.
So, and that's how you want to end this review talk discussion on...
I'm sad all over again.
So, I know I sounded very critical of the movie. I pointed a lot of errors out. That being said, I think this... I'm going to let the scientists decide. But I think this will be the best Marvel movie. I think...
I don't know. I mean, there are there are categories that I definitely see getting 5s because I can't otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I want to see it again, but I don't know.
Let's go into it then.
Let's just get her into it.
One last time.
One last time. Hey, do it for the Gipper.
We're going into the Shield ranking. The Shield is based on the S, the Scoundrel.
Sure you don't want to use the Hydra ranking?
No, we're not doing...
How many druids? There might have been a few druids.
There were a couple druids. There's at least 2 druids.
Yaks.
Alright. The S stands for Scoundrel, the villain of the movie, how they portray. We're obviously looking at Thanos in this one. Heroes, this is going to be very hard to juggle, but we're going to try our best. Looking at the heroes' powers, how much they're in character, the development of them. You have integrity. This is the story arc. This is kind of probably where you're going to have some issues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should also say that they used to be our effects for older movies. I think the effects were very well done in this.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Thanos effects were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
There was not one time it looks well done.
I didn't think... There's never a point I was like, oh, that looks gross.
Yeah. It almost looked like they got a 10-foot-tall purple man to play Thanos.
With a wrinkly chin.
With a wrinkly chin. The entertainment, how entertained are we in the movie. The Lee cameo, obviously how does Stan Lee do in his one shot here, and then the development of the MCU as a whole. Connor, so...
What if Stanley was the Soul Stone? How would you feel about that?
Shut up.
What if Stanley was the keeper? What if Stanley was the keeper, Brendon?
I don't know what the keeper is.
The guy who was keeping the Soul Stone. What if instead of Red Skull, it's Stan Lee?
Oh, God, no, I like this one better. I like this reality.
To get the stone, you must say Excelsior.
Answer me these questions 3. So, I'm going to get serious now, because we've already been going for over an hour.
We had to lighten it up.
Yeah. The Scoundrel Thanos. So, I really think there's only one hero, or villain, I should say, that can compete with Thanos in his development. And I think that's Killmonger from Black Panther.
Yeah.
But
So, I'm looking at our scores here. We differed a little bit on Killmonger.
Yeah, you gave him 5. I gave him 4.5, which I might actually retroactively change, but...
Lower or higher?
Higher.
Okay.
But not today. I mean... I think there are some flaws, but I think it's a...
Point them out. Tell me right now.
The flaws in Thanos?
Yeah. I can't think of any.
The only one I can think of is I'm not sure how much I buy the relationship with Gamora and him.
Okay.
Just because the way Gamora... the only way we've seen that is through Gamora, so maybe it's that tilt...
Right.
But I think it's 4.75 at the very least. That's the...
Dude, I can't not give him a 5.
Do you think I'm being too critical on that?
No, I think you're totally fair in that. But I would feel dirty giving him less.
But I guess if I'm looking at this entire MCU, is he the best villain? I think so. 5. You're 5.
Oh man, double 5s.
Double 5s. High fives. No real high fives.
Oh, I was kind of excited.
The heroes.
I mean, I thought
This is hard because there's so many of them.
I thought they all did a great job. Guardians were Guardians. Thor was Thor. Like, they were all good. There was that moment with Doctor Strange and
That was me rotating my chair.
Yeah, sure it was. With Doctor Strange and Iron Man that you brought up, that I totally understand now. Again, you've had the benefit of seeing it twice. I have not gotten around to that yet. So, I could totally see that. I mean, well, what are you going to give it? Because
Again, I think the floor is 4.75.
Yeah, I was going to say 4.75.
And I think the ceiling is a 5.
Yeah.
I basically is like, how much is the... and I think it's really that one scene. So is one scene really going to dictate this?
Right.
But I just think, like, everyone was in character. I think besides that one misjudgment, everyone is in character. The interactions are great. I mean, it's got to be a 5, I think.
Yeah.
All right. This is one I might dock a little bit, the integrity. So this is the storytelling part of it.
Okay.
I think I've pointed out some flaws in the story.
Okay.
I think the scene between Strange and Stark, a little bit of a flaw. I think there's some Deus Ex Machina used in the movie.
The Bifrost.
The Bifrost, the Nebula thing.
Yeah.
There's some of that. There's some of it in there. You could argue the Time Stone a little bit. The fact that Cap won't let Vision do what Cap has done.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do, I guess.
Yeah.
There's some flaws in there, but overall, I think the story, I think the motivation's interesting, because we live in a world today where we are getting to a population crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something that is at least somewhat relatable. It's not like this, I need the Power Stone to blow up Xandar because they did this to me. This is like a relevant story, so I think it's going to be probably a 4.
Okay.
I think there's just enough flaws to not give it the 5, but I think it's a decent story, and I think if you've watched the other Marvel movies, it builds up very well to this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to give it a 4.75.
Wow. Okay.
Are you talking flat 4?
Flat 4.
Oh. I thought you meant like in the 4 range.
No, I was going flat 4.
Man, I don't know. I just liked it a lot. I liked how, again, one of my favorite parts of the movie was how they just were able to make each section feel like, yeah, that's this hero movie.
I did like that a lot too. I just, like I said, there's enough out there that I think it's not necessarily a lazy story writing. I think it's like it's a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're gonna have to cut corners.
Yeah.
So, 4.25. 4.25.
Right. Talk you up a little bit.
You talked me up just a bit. Entertainment of this movie. I mean, I've seen it twice. I've loved it both times. And we've talked about, like, one of the aspects we look at is, like, how often are we looking at our watch or, like, saying, like, man, how long is this movie? Not once. This movie, this is the shortest 2.5 hours of my life.
There were points where I was like, I wasn't asking, like, how long is this movie? I was like, where are we in the movie? Because it cannot be over soon, right?
Yeah. You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So it's a 5.
5.
It's a 5, guys. Guys, this is a build-up.
The only time this has happened before was, like, Avengers 1.
Avengers 1 is probably going to be... Well, I mean, our top one is the Winter Soldier.
Well, Winter Soldier, yeah.
The Winter Soldier, I gave 3 5s to as well.
Yeah.
So I guess can it keep up the pace?
That's the last one.
Well, we got 2 left. We got the Lee cameo.
Not the best.
Not the worst.
I like it.
I think it does good. I mean, if you think about a bus driver in New York, it would not be the first time
I actually laughed at it.
You did.
I really liked it.
I think I liked Ned's reaction more before that than Lee, though.
Ned was good. Ned was pretty
Ned
funny.
did his one line in the movie. We're all gonna die.
Hey, man. Guess what? That one line still got him that Marvel money.
It's all about that hashtag Marvel money. 3?
I'll go 3.25.
All right, I'm gonna go 3. Just keep it there.
I laughed. It was good. One of the better ones.
All right, so here it is, the last one.
Do we even have to discuss?
I mean, it has to be a 5, right? So much changed after this movie.
This literally shook the universe. We talk about, did this ripple the pond? Dude, this was like...
You have all these heroes coming together. You have the stones connected. You have the snap. You have all these characters going away. You have Red Skull coming
Red
back.
Skull's still alive.
You get Dinklage into the universe, and you get to see what the dwarfs like planet thing.
Yeah.
It's not planet, it's a star, but you know what I mean.
You get Stormbreaker.
Yeah, it's a 5. Like, this is the easiest ranking I think we've ever done for this.
Yeah.
This movie is the pinnacle of 10 years. 10 years came in to make this movie.
Where along the line do you think Marvel said, all right, we gotta come up with this, like, grand, not a finale, but, like, this grand climax?
Like, when the idea of this movie came?
Yeah.
First Avengers.
You think First Avengers Infinity War is going to be a thing?
Yes. First Avengers is when they
Right.
figured it out.
All right.
Actually, you could even go, I'll go even more. I'll say, when the Tesseract's announced in the first Avengers, right? Captain America.
Tesseract's and Cap.
That's when
And
it's
Cap?
figured out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I agree with you. I think it was early.
All right. We'll be right back. Let's see what the scientists say. So I don't know why we said we'll be right back, because the way Connor cuts us, we're always right here anyway.
Yeah.
But we got back from the scientists. Half our servers were wiped out. I don't know why.
Well, balance that's all things should be. I also might have gotten very frustrated one night with a baseball bat. But that's besides the point.
In case you were
If you see
wondering...
purple face paint around the place, that totally was not me.
In case you were wondering if this was, it is indeed the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Man.
I will say, the Winter Soldier was pretty close, but really it was heads and shoulders above everything else.
Yeah.
I think that's partially our scale. I think it's partially the movie. I think this movie will hold up. I'm very curious to see how my opinion changes after 4. Because I feel like this is the movie. It's kind of like that Harry Potter
We
split.
got 1 year.
Got a whole year.
It doesn't sound like it's that far away when you say it, does it?
No, because I got a lot of crap to get done
But
before then.
But it feels forever.
I think what's going to suck is the gap. I think I'm going to be okay, because I realize in a couple months I get to see my buddy Scott Lang back.
The most average looking man in the world.
Yeah, I get to see some Ant-Man. I think what's really going to kill me is after I see Ant-Man,
There
There's nothing till March.
There are not a lot of Marvel movies this year. And now we know why.
Yeah, it's nothing from July till March, Marvel-wise. It's going to be a long, dry spell. But yes, as of right now, Infinity War is the top movie. Thanos will return.
Yeah, that was like... Did you feel a little upset at that?
Oh, I loved it, because I said it was a Thanos movie. They always do that with the hero. Guess who it was?
That's true.
But yeah, it's the top movie, top dog. So, now what do we do?
Brendon, this is a journey. I'm glad I went through it with you, but this is a journey.
Yes, but the journey's not over.
The journey is not over.
So
this was nigh the first leg.
Was this phase 1?
This is Super Mario Brothers Phase 1.
Yeah, we just finished phase 1.
Yeah.
And now it's time for phase 2. So we are going to be taking...
Phase 2, oddly a prequel phase.
Yes. Just like that, if you've ever watched Spartacus, the TV show, Season 2 is a prequel to Season 1 for reasons that I won't get into. But for reasons, it was a prequel. We're basically going to do that. We are going to be taking a slight break from the channel, a couple weeks. We're both very busy in our professional lives.
Yes.
It's been really a struggle since Doctor Strange to get this done.
There have been some late nights.
But we have gotten it done for you to get you to Infinity War. We're going to be taking a slight break, get our personal lives in order, probably a couple weeks. We're also, for the time being, we're going to be switching the podcast when we do come back to bi-weekly. So you'll be getting a podcast probably the first and third Friday or the second and fourth, something like that. It will be every 2 weeks.
Balanced as all things should be.
Balanced as all things should be. There's other Marvel movies out there.
There are. There's a whole universe of Marvel movies. It's a bigger world than you, Mr. Stark.
Come on, you call me that again, I'm going to punch you.
Yeah.
So we've kind of hinted at this, but there's been an enduring debate for years in the household that we used to live in, but now we don't because I moved out.
Yes.
Who is the better Spider-Man?
Well, that's the first part. The Spider-Man Chronicles are happening.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, we're watching the first Tobey Maguire? No. We're watching Tobey Maguire. We are watching Andrew Garfield. And we are comparing notes.
And then saying how much worse they are than our current Spider-Man.
Yeah, oh god, Tom Holland blows him out of the water, but
we are going to take a couple week break. We're going to come back. We're going to do the Spider Chronicles, where we're going to watch the 5 original Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 1 through 3, the Sam Raimi trilogy, and then the Mark Webb, I think it is. Amazing.
He was perfect for it. His last name was Webb.
Shut up. And we're going to rank them. We'll probably have a separate spider
scale.
We're actually gonna use the Hydra scale.
How many druids were in this movie? Some could argue Dr. Octopus was a druid.
But yeah, we are going to come back. We're gonna do the Spider Chronicles throughout the summer, and we have some other plans after that for the podcast. So there's comic book movies galore. We live in the golden age of comic book movies. These last 20 years now.
It's right.
Yeah, so we're gonna follow this train, and we still got a couple Marvel movies coming out this summer. Mm-hmm. I know it's not in the MCU, but we got Deadpool coming out soon.
Oh, we could go back and do Deadpool.
We can do Deadpool.
Should we do an R-rated episode for Deadpool?
Oh yeah, we're doing an R-rated episode, and we might even get a little libations.
Ooh,
what do you think about that one?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that would be the raunchy version. We got some X-Men coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
We can finally watch Logan now.
I'm not going to say anything. You're going to get mad at me.
You watched it?
No.
Oh, my God.
But hey, to be fair, Kanai and Danny are also very mad at me for that.
All right, but we've got some other plans from it, so we appreciate our loyal listeners, the people that come and listen every single week, the people that comment and tell us.
It's super awesome. Thank you for...
We're a small community, but we love our listeners.
Thank you guys for joining us on this journey. I think we both learned a lot about Marvel movies, about... how to critically break down movies.
How long we can stay in a room together.
Oh my god, it's not long.
But yeah, thank you to the Couch Gnomes for allowing us to go on this journey. Catch them on all your various social medias.
Yep.
Where can I buy a shirt?
Oh, well, yeah, let me pull out Kanai, my pocket Kanai I keep constantly.
Shop.spreadshirt.com/couchgnomes.
Thanks, Kanai.
Yeah, and go buy your Super Marvel Brothers shirt.
Oh, it's so nice. We all have one.
It's very nice. It's comfy. It's stylish.
I wore mine yesterday.
You wore it yesterday.
Yeah.
Mine, I just folded it, so I'll be wearing it sometime soon.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a nice shirt. Advertise it. Let your friends know. Just because we're done for now doesn't mean you can't get other people in on this podcast.
Hey, you got a couple weeks. We won't be uploading. Catch up.
Yeah, this is your time to catch up. I mean, you just saw Infinity War. You're having the withdrawal. Go back and listen to episode 1. Go back and do the re-listen.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are rough.
Yeah, especially that Hulk episode.
Oh my god,
that was a rough
hated
one.
editing that one.
That was rough, but
we upgraded.
Yeah, and I feel like we got a little better as it went, or maybe we did. I don't know. But hey, go back, listen to us. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Probably this is being recorded in early May. We're probably gonna come back either late May, early June in that time frame. And again, we'll go bi-weekly as we start the Spider Chronicles.
All right, thank you guys for joining us on this. And
Excelsior!
Excelsior!
Later.
Bye.
The stop sign.
Yeah.